When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competitive Zone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
The desert sun scorches on top of Rattlesnake Hill, and the stage is set for one final showdown in the Door Cup Series. From Avondale, Arizona, welcome to Phoenix Raceway, where after a long season of chaos, strategy, and speed, it all comes down to this. 4 drivers, 1 trophy, and 203 laps to settle it all. You've got Daniel Bess, who's got more experience up for any of the drivers here in the Championship 4, with 33 races on the season and 9 top 5s and 18 top 10s. Alan Duggar, the favorite to win this race, based off his amount of wins with 5 on the season in 20 starts and 15 top 10s. Or do you have the pair of underdogs? William Lark, only 1 win on the season, but 4 top 5s. Or maybe Nate Pollard, winless on the 2025 calendar, 5 top 5s and 28 starts. Could today be his time? It's the culmination of months of racing across America, from the high banks of Bristol and Talladega to the flat corners of Phoenix. One of those 4 names will etch their name into door-to-door history. We're glad you could join us on Maconi Entertainment. Marty Sakala alongside Kirk Mills, with Christian Hill working in mission control. Kirk, it doesn't get any better than this. A 1-mile bull ring where pit strategy, track position, and composure mean anything. The margin for error basically tonight, razor thin. Every lap, pit stop, restart counts to determine the champion this evening.
Yep, 35 races leads it all down to this one big race here in Phoenix. Gotta say, one thing about this racetrack, it's going to be a long-run car that's going to win the championship. That's what it's all about. You got to keep the car underneath you, keep it going long-term. And I'm just excited to see who can do it. I have a little bit of a hunch that underdogs might have something to say today. We'll see how it goes, but it all comes down to this, the Final 4, getting ready to put it on here at Phoenix.
I know you haven't watched too much of them this season, though, but Kirk, you will, without question, be in for a treat when these drivers get to run here this evening. We'll actually be talking with your Championship 4 in just a little bit as well. Let's look at the track, though, of Phoenix Raceway here as we're in the championship finale. We follow the real-life NASCAR calendar, and it's been a great ride. The drivers have been racing since February, the night of the Daytona 500, and we'll see the checkered flag on the season waved here tonight. Let's break down Phoenix Raceway here for you while we're at it. The 1 mile racetrack obviously was reconfigured, Kirk, late in 2018 to the point where coming off for turn number 2 is now the exit of turn number 4, and the dogleg comes first after you cross the start-finish line.
Absolutely, but they didn't really touch the track surface much at all. They kept it the same, so that's one thing I like about this particular track. It's still the same track. They just moved that start-finish line a little bit further down past the old turn 1 and 2. But it's just going to make for wild restarts because they're going to cut that dog leg quite a bit. You're not going to see as many tire problems as we saw in the race today because, goodness gracious, these things just know how to keep the tire on the car. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. 4 turns, really flat. And you can really go all the way up to the top of the wall in turns 1 and 2, all the way down to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. You can go all over a racetrack trying to make passes.
Absolutely. We saw that a lot, especially late in the race of both trucks and cups and the restarts where it can get very crazy on those restarts like we mentioned earlier on. So qualifying happening at the moment. They're just halfway home. Field about 15 drivers here with us here tonight. As we get a look at the qualifying times here at the moment, Kirk, Alan Duggar quickest by 0.2 at the moment at a 26:13. James Nesta, the highest non-running playoff driver, currently second quick at a 26:33. Then you've got Nate Pollard in third. Good qualifying run for him at a 26:36.
It's going to be quick. Your main goal here is to get clean air. Dirty air on these cars, meaning you got a car in front of you, that ain't going to make you fast. It's only going to make it harder for you to get on by. It's going to push your car tight. And on a flat track like this, that thing really likes to aim for the wall and hit it straight in the face. So you don't want to be right up behind somebody, but you can definitely do it. You just need to have the will and the sheer ability to be able to keep the car underneath you. As Daniel Best just finished his qualifying time, 26:338, puts him up to third. Looks like a lot of these championship guys are still qualifying in the top 5 so far.
So it's Duggar first, Best in third, Pollard fourth, and William Lark is eighth. So the entire championship 4 have qualified. Now we're just trying to figure out where they're going to start. Michael Reeves not qualifying. Let's show you the points and how they look. Obviously, the championship 4 all even, heads up going into this race. Pollard beating out Trevor Baxter, Hugh Brown, Stephen Bird, Danny Carpenter for the final spots in. Now, Baxter won our first race of the round of 8. However, though, because his schedule got busy in the final 3 races of the season, he withdrew his spot in the championship 4. And so spots were open. Nate Pollard gets the final spot, basically, over Hugh Brown, Stephen Bird, and Danny Carpenter. So it's heads up. First one to the stripe wins the championship, like we all know, have known from this format in the last decade or so. Kirk?
You know, looking at this right here, these top 4, very different seasons, except for the top 2, Daniel Best and Alan Duggar. If you look at Alan Duggar, man, this guy average starts 6th, average finish is 5.8. When you look at Daniel Best, his average starts 7th, and then his average finish is 10th. So technically, if you were to go strictly off of average finishes here, Duggar's got this one in the bag. But that's not what it's about here in this playoff system. Whether you like it or not, it's all about how you compete today and make it through the race here at Phoenix. If you can make it through and win this thing, or at least finish ahead of the other 3, you're ready to go and get a championship.
Duggar could have the momentum, leading 274 laps last week at Martinsville to take the checkered flag in the 325-lap show. Warm-ups are happening, so that gives us an opportunity to talk to your championship 4. First driver we'll begin with here, the driver of the number 5, Daniel Best. And Daniel, you're getting set to go here for tonight at Phoenix. How are the vibes coming on in as you contend for a championship this evening?
Not sure. I don't know what I'm going to do. Just a little nervous. So,
how do you feel going on into this race tonight? What'd you learn about your car in practice and qualifying?
well, we've been racing all week and working on the car all week. If the temperature don't drop too much, I think we'll be fine. But if the temperature drops below about 95 degrees, I think I'm in trouble.
Well, Daniel, we wish you the best of luck. Have fun out there, and have a great night. Hopefully we'll talk to you again at the end on top.
Appreciate it.
So Daniel Best, our first driver in the championship 4. Second one could consider him the favorite to win it all with a lot of wins in 2025. Alan Duggar, he's with Kirk.
Well, Alan, I got to say, man, you're coming down to this. You got yourself a starting pole up on the front row. You got this thing in the bag if you look at the steps. Now, I got to ask you, what are your hopes and dreams going into tonight?
Just keeping this thing up front and keeping the right sides on it and hopefully have a clean race and do my best.
Now, I want to propose a little scenario here. Pretend you're running in second place. The guy you got to beat right in front of you, right on his back bumper, coming to the white flag. What are you willing to do to win the championship?
Oh, you might see me give him a bumper.
All right. And, man, what would it feel like for you if you're able to come out with this and win a championship? What would that mean to you?
It'd be awesome. It means a lot to me. You know, we worked all year long so hard at this thing. Just the time the effort you put into it. There's really no words that I can say to describe it. It'll be really awesome.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Alan. Anybody you want to shout out before this race gets going?
I got some family watching tonight, so I thank them for tuning in. Hopefully we'll put on a great show for everybody.
All right, Alan. Thanks so much for talking with us, and best of luck to you out there in the race.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so that is Alan Duggar, the second driver in the championship 4. We now move to the other side of the championship for the second group here. William Lark now joining us. William, that's the same question that I asked Daniel a couple moments ago. What are the vibes for you as you contend for a championship here tonight?
Well, you know, again, I don't do myself no favors in qualifying, so I'll try to do my best to pick my way through there, keep my nose clean, and it's been a long season, man, coming down to one race and just see what I can do, man. Try to keep it clean and save some tires.
How do you feel about your car setup during practice, and what are the keys to victory tonight?
I think my car is good on the long run. As long as I can save a little tire, man, I believe I'm good on the long run, and stays green, I like my chances.
All right, sounds good. William, we wish you the best of luck tonight. Have fun out there. Hopefully we'll talk to you later tonight on top.
Hey, thanks for all you guys do, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. William Lark, our third driver, and we run out the championship 4. Kirk, we're going to have to make this very quickly as we're under a minute out from gridding the field. Nate Pollard, final driver of the championship 4.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Kirk, you've got this one.
Yep, I got you. Nate, so happy to see you in here making it to the championship 4. Obviously, you were kind of gifted this and giving you an opportunity as the #1 underdog. You're coming into this with no wins on the season, but a chance to win the championship. Tell me, how do you prove the naysayers that you deserve this?
Kind of just go out there and try to do my best and see what happens. I know Alan and I know Alan, Will, and Daniel are going to be fast, so it's going to be about being there at the end and hopefully making the right strategy call at the end.
All right, Nate. Well, I got to ask you, too. I posed this same question earlier, but if you're in second place, white flag, got a car right in front of you, what are you willing to do to win the championship, Nate?
I don't, like last week, I'm not gonna wreck someone to win a race, but bump and run, totally worth it.
All right, Nate. Well, we wish you the best of luck while you're getting on the grid.
Thank you, Kirk.
Nate Pollard, Nate Pollard, the 4th driver of the championship 4. 15 drivers set to take the green flag here for 203 laps with one champion in the end. And it's Alan Duggar on pole position with a 26.133. Next to him, highest driver not in the championship 4, James Neston, the 29.2 off the pace of Duggar's time. Then a pair of playoff drivers on row 2, Daniel Best in car number 5 and Nate Pollard in the 16. The third row this evening, Danny Carpenter in the 28 next to Will Hewitt. Go Pack Go in the number 11. The 4th row, Stephen Bird in the 14. Next to our final championship 4 driver, William Lark in the 10. Rounding out your top 10, Thomas Freeman the 17 and Bradley Knopfsnyder in the 87. Kirk?
Starting in 11th, Joshua Switzer. To his outside, Thomas Hegland. Be sure to keep an eye on those two. Starting in 13th tonight will be Gus Otiro. And then to his outside, Michael Reeves in the 00. Starting 15th and final will be Terry Orr tonight.
So 15 drivers making up the grid. Everyone set to roll off here. One, if not two, pace laps around Phoenix. Here's the race analysis for tonight. 203 laps with stages ending at 51 and 102. There is a 25x incident limit. Fuel limit is at 75% fuel, so expect about 70 to 75 laps on a full tank of fuel. Drivers with 7 sets of tires they can use, and a green-white checkered if needed. No quick repairs tonight. Perfect day for racing, but as always, it is hot at the Desert of Phoenix Raceway. 79 degrees at the moment, a little cooler than normal. Field making their way down what was the front stretch in the past. Now it is the back straight. We get set to go. It's been a long, grinding journey of 35 races, but tonight we end it with 4 drivers with a chance at the championship. As we say, where else would you rather be than right here, right now, on a turn 4? It is showtime at Phoenix.
Man, Nate Pollard did not get a good start at all after contact. He dropped back like a rock.
Pollard already has dropped down to the 7th spot at lowest, racing Freeman for 6. But as they slice and dice their way off for 2, it's Duggar with the edge, and here comes Daniel Best, peeking up to that quarter panel for the race lead. Top 2 of the championship, side by side. Who's going to lead lap 1 here at the start-finish line? Give it to Daniel Best in the 5.
They nearly slammed doors going through the dogleg that time. Luckily, he was able to avoid it.
And yes, you see that dogleg as well. A lot of drivers using it to their advantage. Similar to when you go across the start-finish line at like maybe Kansas or Chicagoland. Drivers able to shortcut that to try and gain an advantage. We saw drivers like Corey Heim use it to his advantage Friday night in the truck race. So Best leading on Carpenter. Meanwhile, the race for 5th breaking out. Nate Pollard working on Stephen Bird after his tough start. And now the chase for 2nd. Carpenter challenging Duggar for that runner-up spot.
Remember, this is a real race. There's absolutely no reason for drivers that are not in the Final 4 to be, there's no reason for them to lag back. They should just keep racing like normal. And that's what we're seeing out of Danny Carpenter here, trying to get up towards the front. Unfortunately, does not look like he's going to get it done that particular time. Slides in behind Alan Duggar.
When you think of a track like Phoenix Raceway that's flat, but also with a lot of wide sweeping corners here at the same time, Kirk, you think about when you're on corner exits, the high side, you're able to get back on the gas a lot first compared to drivers that are running the apex here of this racetrack. And that's what we saw Carpenter try to do, run the apex in 1 and 2. It just doesn't work out there.
Not necessarily every time. It takes a special setup to be able to make that work, is the way that's for sure.
Oh, Pollard catches Nesta. A dirt track. Pollard, first championship 4. He turns into a victim of this one. Caution flag waves.
Oh, no. Man, that car just got sideways, made contact, and he overcorrected. We'll have to take a look at it.
Drama already for the championship 4. And we're not even 10 laps into this one. Pollard racing Nesta for the 5th spot on the track at the time. Just catches him. 16 car tried his best to save it. But in the end, damage on the 16, especially on the rear end, where he'll bring her to pit road to get a repair. And I don't know if it's going to be good enough to keep that car on the lead lap for right now. As we take a look at the replay, Kirk, what happened here?
Yeah, looking at that 29, take a look. He doesn't go all the way up to the wall. That's Nesta there. He kind of squeezes Nate down. And because of that, Nate makes contact, gets Nesta loose, which makes himself loose, and he lost it. There was no way he was going to be able to save that. He locked up the brakes, slid into the corner, and you can see heavy right rear damage and a little bit on the nose as well. But if you're riding on board with Nate, you're doing everything you can to try and make a move on him. You go low, you're going to have a little bit of an advantage on him, but
oh, you know what?
Go up the track.
I saw that car at the same time just sweep a little bit to the right a little bit, like he hit a bump or something. That cop's go to the right and a very hard hit into the safer barrier. You also saw as well at the same time Nesta clipped the wall too. So definitely a tough break there for him as you see Pollard on pit road. Get some fresh tires here. Get 7 sets the drivers have tonight. Obviously we used 2 between the stages. Terry Orr also a driver that made his way onto pit road to take fuel here. So while we were at it under this first caution of the race here, Kirk, let's talk about your keys to victory tonight.
Well, what I could say in terms of the keys to victory, it's about survival. After seeing that, you got to be able to make it to the end of this race to be able to have a chance at a championship. Right now, Nate, he's coming out of the pit road. Looks like he'll stay on the lead lap. He won't lose a lap, I don't believe, that time. So that will be to his benefit. But to the other 3 drivers, just keeping out there on the racetrack. That's going to be the number one most important thing, staying alive. If you're able to do that, then you're going to be able to be a champion here towards the end. And as long as you have a fast car, too. That might be a little bit important.
Lights are off, set to come back to the green flag this time. And the Daniel Best, new driver to control the pace here on this restart. Selects the inside line here next to Alan Duggar. That's row 1. Danny Carpenter and James Nesta on row 2. There you see the 14, Stephen Bird next to Will Hewitt, row number 3. Josh Switzer, Thomas Freeland, row 4. Gus Otero, Thomas Hegland round out the top 10. Not the start that William Lark wanted, though, in the 10. He'll restart outside row 5. So he'll actually be in the 10th spot when we come back to the green flag. But it's Best controlling the pace. You know, he's got a good number on number 5. Kyle Larson won the Cup Series championship just 90 minutes ago or so. Could work to his momentum. Went back to the green flag, and he has checked out of the hotel on Alan Duggar. You see them go 3 abreast into turn number 1. Will Hewitt stuck in the middle. A run from Josh Switzer underneath. Switzer trying to get on the gas here, but it's Nesta with the slight advantage. Meanwhile, for the 2nd spot, Carpenter tried to get a run on Duggar. Couldn't do anything about that. Switzer low on the 29 of Nesta, but he shuts the door as everyone runs the bottom.
They got single filed out for the first 10, it looks like, all the way back until Thomas Freeman battling right now with the 10 car, William Lark, back there. Both just trying to keep the car underneath them. But it looks like that you're starting to see multiple cars try different lines back here. Nate's trying to recover from his spin, and other cars are still side by side, even just for position. Will Hewitt and the 6 car Joshua Switzer going at it right now in turns 3 and 4.
Pollard actually working on William Lark here for the 10th position just a moment. If you see on the leaderboard, drivers marked in yellow, that is your championship 4. So you're going to get a better eye on who they are if you're new to door-to-door Cup Series action here on Maconi Entertainment. You see Pollard creeping towards the 10 of William Lark for that top 10 spot. And Pollard, you see, either drives in deep. So whatever he repaired under that pit stop, Kirk, it worked a little bit. I don't know how much it's going to slow the car a little bit, but we know he's able to be a little bit faster, though, than a bunch of the others. Good race off in turn number 2. Meanwhile, Will Hewitt, Josh Switzer. They've been side by side the last couple of laps, so give credit to Switzer, who started back at 11th, right in 6th, but Hewitt goes up the hill a little bit in turn number 3 as they touch. Switzer nearly up the wall. One driver, though, bangs it off in turn number 4. That was Hegland in the 99, but Switzer still trying to get a run into turn 1.
These guys have just been going at it for the last 5 laps. The 6 and the 11 just run after the other, trying to get on by. This is the closest battle we have towards the front, but right behind him, we can also see Hegland going at it with Gus Otero as well.
Race for 8th position behind them on the line that time for the 6th spot. Give it to Switzer on Hewitt, the action spot. And there you see William Lark as well and Nate Pollard. They've worked their way on both Otero and Hegland. These are the battles we're watching very closely here. Also, 3rd of the championship 4 on the line. We go on board here with William Lark as he watches Pollard as well at the same time.
Looking back right now from Lark, you can see that kind of chaos. Look at that. Holy shit, where'd he come from?
Nesta lost a lot of time a couple moments ago. Taking a look at what happened here real quick. Off in turn number 4. He got too much on the throttle and made a great save out of it. So James dropped down the leaderboard after starting second, down to 11th right now. Now we're watching the race for second, Alan Duggar and Danny Carpenter. And Duggar, your pole sitter, just trying to get a feel for how his race car is. And, at some points, you may have a car, Kirk, that's good for the short run. You may have a car that's good for the long run in particular, but it's early in the race. Duggar just trying to get a good feel for his car under race conditions, under dirty air as well at the same time.
I think right now is a great time to feel out your car. You're going to figure out how it likes to run. That's a number one thing I like to do early in these races. You want to keep the car underneath you, figure out what you can and can't do, and then figure out what you need to do when you come down pit road to fix this thing. You need to make some adjustments. You'll figure out what those are over the course of this run, and you'll see what you have and what you need to do to try and get up to the front. But if you're a driver right now like Lark, you got to start pushing a little harder right now. You're kind of stuck back in 8th. He's got a ways to go to get back up to the top 2. And he's just got to start making his way forward. Same thing with Nate Pollard. Both of them need to get moving on the way towards the front as soon as possible.
We see everybody basically using the bottom here like I said, just trying to get a feel here throughout stage 1 how their car is going to be. One driver actually up on the wall. I think that was Carpenter. No issues here. But this is a track, though, Kirk, and this is one of my keys to victory here tonight, where you can utilize multiple grooves and find alternatives. The bottom isn't the only option. Moving up the track using the middle or the high line at exits can open opportunities. Kevin Harvick has had some pretty good quotes this week on motorsport.com, and we know Harvick was synonymous with Phoenix Raceway for many years. If everybody's on the bottom of the racetrack, you're never going to pass them. That's where the dog leg can come in here at times.
As long as you can get a good exit off turn 4 and cut down to the apron as quickly as you can, yeah, it's good. That's definitely going to be a benefit. But over the course of the run, that starts to even out. You'll start to actually see the outside lane going into turns 3 and 4 might be even a little quicker than what you'd expect. Sorry, outside lane in turns 1 and 2 would be a little quicker. It tends to happen on the occasion. But right now, looking at these cars, there's not that much side-by-side battle, and they've really settled themselves out. The only side-by-side battle, oh, look out, there goes the 29 hard in the inside wall.
Nesta's been having an issue with turn 4 for the last couple of laps, where that back end's just been getting wobbly. And this time, it cost him with some damage as he nailed the safer barrier retaining wall head on. Heavy front end damage on the 29, and that, it likely is going to be heavy damage that will not be kind to him the rest of this way. You can see the left, when we go back to live, you'll be able to see the left front suspension is bent. That's just forcing his car to get tight every time. I don't see a meatball flag, but you look at this left front here when you get a chance. You'll see how bent it is. Yeah, how bent it is to the right. Yeah, right there. He's going to need a pit without question. Or else he's just going to be hanging onto a tight race car the entire night.
Yeah, he's just going to try and hope for a caution. If he can get one, then that would save him. Staying out's probably going to be his best bet. Hoping the car will keep turning for him. Oh, man, he's locking up the left front there. He's going to hit the wall again.
Yeah, there's smoke trailing as well off the left side is one of the point where a tire could come down soon.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping an eye on that. Meanwhile, leader exiting turn number 4, and Nesta, doesn't like the way the car drives. He'll bring it down the long pit road here at Phoenix. So, but still Daniel Best, your race leader, the Mad Dog, number 5, currently up by 0.6 on Alan Duggar. Hasn't been able to pull away from him too much, but out to a good lead this early in the race, working lap number 224 of 203. Duggar second, Carpenter third. Again, you see the drivers in yellow are your championship 4 contenders. So we're watching Best, Duggar, Lark, and Pollard throughout the night. And Lark in 8th position, working on Hewitt, the battle for 7th as well. But this is a 3-car race for second. We're watching closely here. Carpenter and Bird not able to gain too much time, though, on the 15 of Duggar. It seems like, Kirk, it may take for a mistake for a driver ahead when it comes to driving the track to see if they can get some spots.
I think it's just a matter of keeping pressure on the leaders, really, be honest with you. Staying close to the rear bumper is going to be a lot, because then you kind of get in the driver's head. That's the number one most important thing I'd say is, getting in the driver's head, making them make mistakes on their own. But right now, looking throughout this whole field, I'm just seeing cars that have really spread out throughout this run, except for about maybe 4 or 5 cars just behind the top 4 in the lead here. You can see these top 4, these guys have really formed their own pack, but just behind about 10 car lengths, there's like another group of 4 followed by a group of 2. So very short, small groupings throughout the run. And now it's just a matter of seeing how long these tires will last too.
Halfway here in stage number 1, and yes, tires will be important. The surface can be abrasive at times, especially if you're shortcutting the dog leg or something like that. Managing tires will be important throughout the day. We'll talk about that later on, especially when it comes to pit stops. But let's talk about how drivers are driving the racetrack here as we watch William Lark again chasing down Will Hewitt for 7th. The corners, like we mentioned earlier, pre-race, Kirk, they're not steeply banked. So entering with good braking and a clean exit, very vital here, especially when you're exiting clean with that dogleg front stretch 2 off of turn number 4, trying to get that momentum.
He's caught him down, which is awesome. I mean, that just shows that he's got some long runs.
Here we go. Yeah, like we talked about as well, Kirk. You may have Duggar set up for the long run, best maybe for the short run after he got up to the early lead. Championship spot on the line between the two. And let's see how Duggar sets this up in a turn 1 as he drives it in deep. And that's something you can do at times here at Phoenix. A lot of drivers well known for doing that in turns 3 and 4, obviously, especially at the finish of a race. What's it going to take, though, for Duggar, who's got the gap down to a car length, to try and get past Daniel Best?
You know, I think Duggar's really fast right now. He's got the speed to get there. Now he's just got to be able to find a way around him. That's the hard part. Once you get to the back bumper, that dirty air really affects your car, and you got to really start changing up your line. You can see that he went higher that time, and he's going to do a low arc. He's going to have a run. He's going to make a move down turn 3 and 4 right here. Take a look.
Diamonded 1 and 2 to get that very good exit, and I was actually kind of about to say that from my perspective. Really comes down to the corner exits. If you want to try and pass a driver, now you see the shortcut there for Best with the advantage through that dog leg. And now watch Alan Duggar in turns 1 and 2. This time he drives it in very deep underneath. Best almost opened the door for the 15. But Best hanging on for right now. Let's see how Duggar sets this up into 3 and 4, Kirk.
I don't know if he's going to be able to make the move quite yet. There's
look at this.
Pollard down pit road.
Pollard on pit road, meanwhile. We'll look at that in just a moment. Still watching, though, this race for the lead. And again, Best taking the second groove here of Phoenix above that yellow line. Duggar just sending her on the bottom, hoping for that opening and hoping that that Best is less easy, basically, I guess you could say, on the throttle. Now, one thing we did want to talk about as well here with Pollard, Kirk, I'm just taking a look at it. Pollard, his car snapped in turn number 1 sideways as he tried to counter hard in the outside wall. May have had a meatball flag, I'm not too sure, but Pollard went down pit road. And for the looks of how long this pit stop is going to be, his championship bid may be over. Here goes Duggar. Top shelf for Mama hides the cookies for the race lead.
This is it, man. Side by side, that top lane's going to have momentum. Take a look right here. He's going to end up getting plenty of space to clear him off turn number 2.
And a new race leader here after starting on pole, losing the lead early to Daniel Best. Alan Duggar commanded the troops at bay with 35 laps complete. It's Duggar followed by Best, Carpenter, Bird, and Otero. That is the top 5. Biggest movers of the race so far. Otero up 8 spots in 5th. Switzer up 5 positions in 6th. Is particularly the replay here with Nate Pollard. This is what happened in turn number 1, Kirk.
You can see it here. Just goes into the corner. Little too hot. That car's over-rotating, over-corrected, hard into the outside wall. And that will give him some damage there. And he just chose to park it down on pit road for the time being. That's going to probably do him in here. 3 laps down already. that will do it for his chances at winning the championship here this year.
No meatball flag, did get confirmation on that off the number 16, but Pollard's car was wounded. Remember, brought out the first caution flag on lap 5 after contact with James Nesta that Pollard actually was the instigator for and sent him spinning. So Duggar now's opened up the lead to about a second or so. Here's a look at Danny Carpenter now working on best for second. Stephen Bird making it a triple threat match too.
You know, looking at that third place car, Danny Carpenter, I think that looking at him, I think he's going to be someone to probably try and go for the race win like we saw Ryan Blaney win today. Ryan Blaney wasn't going for a championship, but he could definitely go out there and win a race. I think that 28 is going to be someone to watch all day.
Something to keep an eye on here as well. Carpenter, best teammates out of the Mad Dog Motorsports clan. I would have a very good feeling that Carpenter will help out Daniel when it comes to winning a championship here this evening, if the chance comes, especially late in the race. You got Stephen Bird back there in the 4th position, just following suit with the 28 as they all continue to ride the bottom line here of the racetrack. So about 10 laps away from the end of stage 1, and again, the first pit stops we'll see from all the drivers will come at the stage break. And let's talk tires here, because obviously the surface can be abrasive, and with the changing temperature, the hot sun scorching on the racetrack, managing tires, keeping pace over long runs, it's definitely critical. But watch for how teams possibly set their cars up, basically, Kirk, for durability versus short run speed, and we'll see the cars that could be losing grip or changing their lines due to the tire fall off.
Throughout the run, you're going to always see them change the lineup a little bit. Like right now, if you're looking at the leader, Duggar, he's already diamonding the corner a lot more than what we saw early in the run. That car just seems to have long run speed in it, and it's going to be hard to beat. That's just to say the simple and easy thing. But if you look a little bit further back, Daniel Best, he likes to do that wide arc into the corner. And I think that's where he's going to have some struggle on the long run, because that wide arc typically only works early run. So we'll see if he is able to adapt that line a little later as we go.
Again, stage 1 ending at lap number 51. Window about 70 to 75 laps for pit stops here today at Phoenix. Looking back on William Lark in the 10 cars, now in 7th. He did find his way as well past Will Hewitt a bunch of laps ago. So now he's up there in that position after starting in the 8th position. He's got 0.6 of a second to catch up to Josh Switzer in the number 6. Again, for those that have just joined us, it's Door to Door Cup Series Championship here at Phoenix Raceway. Marty Sakala, Kirk Mills with you on the call, and Christian Hill working in Mission Control. If you're watching live on Maconi Entertainment and you're new to everything, hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Hank Ross is checking in, and same with Verax also checking in, was rooting for Pollard this evening. Unfortunately, his day has gone sour, safe to say the least. So
he is actually just disconnected from the server, so he is done for the night.
So there you go there. We did see as well, as we continue to watch this race for second, the action battle here. The 3 drivers were just the closest that they've been in this long run about a lap ago or so. Got a replay here coming up. Watch Terry Orr in the 54. Just made his way down pit road. This happens off of turn 2. Actually, this may be going into the 3 instead. Does he have the same thing that happened in Nesta?
Not entirely sure. I'm looking at it right now. I'm not seeing much.
He may have hit a bump, possibly, or you... Yeah, he made his way down pit road after that. I wonder if it had to do with too much tire temps or something like it. I'm not too sure though, but
yeah, it was tires.
Anyway, laps. Because I know sometimes low tire grip can lead to the meatball flag. I had that happen as well to me in my first days of iRacing. So, or in 13th, can get the free pass though if needed. But now we watch this race once again. 3 to go in stage 1. Best, Carpenter, and Bird for second. Carpenter helping out his teammate here throughout the day. Pits, by the way, are closed for the rest of this stage. Again, drivers continuing to take her nice and easy here around this track. To go in the stage, Alan Duggar working a 2.3 second lead on best, biggest gap that anyone's had as the leader in this one. Got Cole checking in. Cole Tuff says, Alan, you better not let me down. Well, he's off to a good start, not letting anybody down after making the pass for the race lead on Daniel Best in the long run around the outside in turns 1 and 2. So, but good start. Now we'll just figure out what he needs to adjust on going into pit stops so he can hold the lead for the entirety of stage 2 and not lose it like he did at the start. But off of turn 4, Alan Duggar taking stage number 1. Battle for second at the line. It's going to be Best, Carpenter, and Bird at the caution flag. So Duggar takes stage number 1. We are 51 laps complete in this one of this 203 lap feature. I will step aside and take a break. Stay with us. It's Door to Door Racing League action on Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Stage number 2 set to begin here for the Door to Door Cup Series Championship at Phoenix. Marty Sakala, Kirk Mills, Christian Hill with you. We're glad you could join us here on Maconi. Alan Duggar, your Stage 1 winner, selects the inside for this restart next to Daniel Best. You saw it side by side. Joshua Switzer, the biggest winner on pit stops. He'll restart in third. Stephen Bird in fourth. Danny Carpenter, the biggest loser on pit road, you could say. He's down to fifth. Gus Otero in sixth. William Lark, third driver in the championship four, is seventh. Those wondering about Nate Pollard, final driver of the championship four, he is out of the race. 11 drivers on the lead lap. We come back to the green for stage number 2, and Duggar gets a beautiful jump on Daniel Bass. Watch Switzer, he'll look for second on this restart. Best to get the advantage here, though, on corner exit, but they stay side by side. Switzer leaning on Daniel Best for this runner-up spot. The 5-car tacks the wall. Will Switzer drive it in deep? He won't, but Best finds a way to defend and hangs on to second over that number 6. Switzer, his car's starting to come to life here, Kirk.
You know, prior to the race starting, I spoke with Nate Pollard, and I was just trying to get a gist of how this league works. And I can tell you right now, the number one thing he told me is that Daniel Best and Joshua Switzer do not like each other. And I like, yep, that looked like it. They're just already hitting each other, knowing what's at stake here. Kind of surprised that that's going on this early in the run.
They have had a season ongoing beef that if we see some controversy between them, it'll turn into a steak that's cooked well done. Daniel Carpenter, meanwhile, with a bold move. 2 for 1 on both Switzer and Best. He's through to second.
This is great racing for second place. I love this. Take a look here, going into the corner. Dives it in real early. And does he drive it hard off the corner? Does not look like it. So it looks like the outside line's going to have a run here. But interesting line choice there. Going up a little higher than this would.
Remember, these are teammates too, battling for second, and even with the way they're battling, they're still all over the spoiler of Alan Duggar here for the race lead. Is Carpenter going to try and race Duggar very, very hard to the point where Best could go to the point? We'll have to see what happens here. But Duggar with the advantage. Carpenter, he's got Best. Does he have him cleared off for 4? Not yet. Couple puffs of smoke, and Carpenter is there with the number 15 for the race lead. A triple threat match once again.
Quadruple almost. Take a look at that 4th place car. Joshua trying to get involved too, but he's loose. Hang on to it, brother. He saved it.
Great save by the number 6. Best a little bump draft to Duggar. Carpenter didn't get into the corner wide. A shallow entry, but still racing very hard here. This is some great stuff early on in stage number 2 for the race lead. Duggar, Carpenter, and Best, 2/3 of them in the championship 4.
Man, great side-by-side racing for the 2nd place spot. These guys really want to hang on to track position.
And even with how hard they're racing at the moment, they've got a really good gap on Switzer from the leader to 4th. It's at 1.2 seconds. Now they're all single file, and Best wants that race lead on Alan Duggar. Pulled up to the spoiler for just a moment. I thought it was going to give him a little bit of a hip check there, but a good exit from Alan Duggar will start to pull away. And you know, you were just talking as well, Kirk, about track position. Let's talk about it. While speed is important, restarting up front can definitely make a difference. Even if the track allows multiple grooves, being in that top 5, or so right now top 3, will reduce risk early on. As you see Carpenter get really tight up there in turn 2.
That wasn't tight. He was just using the high lane as a little bit of momentum there. He got there to the outside of the 5 car. So I think that's intentional. I don't think that's getting 100% tight. He's trying the outside line to make it work. He hits the wall a little bit even so. But what I can say is you're right. Track position up front, you know, it can lose you a championship. That's how Hamlin lost his championship today. He didn't get the track position because he took 4 instead of 2. And also the whole thing could happen that way. You never know. So it's important to remember you want to stay up front, get the clean air as clean as possible. You don't want to be stuck mired back into 5th on back.
Fred's 3 out shortcutting, and look who has made his way up to 4th. William Lark. A great restart in stage number 2 after restarting back in 7th or so. He's gained 3 spots and now looking to chop that lead down on the top 3. Lark's trying to come to play.
I think the fastest car on the track is that 10 car. I mean, he's showing a lot of speed right now. He's catching these guys really quickly.
He had a faster lap than the top three by about a tenth. 26.94 last lap for William Lark. Top three all 27.02s, 27.01s. So basically even lap times here at the moment, but now we'll see how Lark does here as he starts to catch up to Danny Carpenter here at the line. Cuts it down by 300ths that last time by. Oh boy, Carpenter driving it in deep there on the 5. Go ahead, Kirk.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing you just said. He dives it in so deep into that corner. Like, the amount of track position he gains is just absurd. Take a look here. Let's ride on board with him. William Lark, you're going to see him go into this corner, and he's just going to gain so much time on the car in front. Watch this right here. Here he goes. Dives it in. Right here is where he gains. And you see how much he gained there. That was about a half a car length in that part of the track alone.
Yeah, he's figured his car out early in stage 2. Still faster than the drivers, than the Mad Dog teammates in second and third. But now obviously when it comes to a spot better in the championship 4, he's got to deal with Carpenter, though, the teammate, again, like I mentioned, the teammate of Daniel Best.
Wrecking on the front straightaway. Terry Orr sideways right across the start-finish line. Got the car back going, but he is definitely damaged.
No caution. And taking a look at things here, Terry caught the apron in turn number 4, which sent his car really sideways. Doesn't pick up any damage, though, but brings the car onto pit road. You talk about James Nesta. He's been on pit road for over 22 minutes. Here's a look here. Kirk, show us what happened here in turn 4.
I think he clipped the apron. It was the slowest car on the track so far. He just clipped the apron, got a little sideways. Trying to keep the car underneath him. Luckily, he didn't hit nothing, but he was sideways here on the front stretch. Just thought that's something we got to make sure we put out there. Needs to probably figure out something to get that car a little bit more stable.
He's been fighting basically an ill-handling car, an angry car, all race long. So we're 70 laps complete. We'll put 71 up on the board right now with Alan Duggar still in command, up 0.7 of a second on Daniel Best, Danny Carpenter, William Lark, and Josh Schwitzer. The top 5, you know, we haven't talked. Oh boy, Carpenter went in deep and nearly put the bumper on his teammate. I know he's not going to try and do that, though. But Carpenter just trying to adjust his grooves and trying to adjust his braking points and seeing what works better for him to try and pick up a spot. And just look at this once again here, Kirk. Lark faster by a tenth.
Both of the cars in front of Lark here are just sliding up in the center, but the 10 car is able to get rotation in the center. So much so he got loose off turn 4 there. Might lose a little bit of time that particular lap, but he does get so good rotation in the center, and that's why he's able to actually catch up to the back bumper of these guys. He just doesn't really get the best run off the corner, it looks like.
If William gets past both Carpenter and Duggar on this run, do you think he has anything for Alan Duggar?
Of course, he's that much faster. It's just a matter of if Duggar took care of his tires or not. We saw him earlier in the early run where he was able to pass Best over the course of a short run. So I think the long run favors Duggar, but we'll see what Lark can do in a long run this time now that he's closer to the front.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of him on that long run because of the traffic that he was in. This time not as much as obviously that he had earlier on in the race. So field mostly single file now, no side-by-side races for position. Other battles we're watching closely besides Best and Carpenter, Switzer and Bird for 5th. That's a close battle between the two. Also near the back of the field, Knopp Snyder and Freeman for 9th. But the field mostly, though, close to each other. Amongst the top 10, the farthest gap by C is a half second between Lark and Switzer, which is very good to say the least.
Yeah, not to mention just between top 10 is only 3.5 seconds. That's everybody pretty dang close to each other. Not too far away, so got to be careful in case you see smoke in front of you if you're a driver like Terry or Bradley, Cop Snyder. These guys, they're running right now at the tail end of this thing. Probably had just a really fun time out here getting to drive. I think that's something that's a lot of fun to ride in the back of one of these fields and just try and watch and figure out what makes your car run better or worse or whatever the situation may be. But just hoping for better days, I'm sure.
And we're over 20 laps as well into this run too, and we are seeing some really good tire fall off. For those wondering, the fall off at this moment is just about a second, and they're all running just about even lap times. Duggar with a 27.55 last lap and hold the phone. We got 3 wide off at turn number 2 for the 5th position. Bird in the middle. Switzer's car got really tight. Got Soltero trying to pick off 2 possibly. Underneath on the 14 here for 6th.
Remember, all these guys are not playoff guys. They're just trying to get the best finish they can in a race today. That's how it should be right here. These guys just pushing hard, trying to get a win. That's what it's all about. Now, whether or not they can catch the leaders, that's another story. But they are trying to have the best positioning to be able to do that in the event of a caution or an issue there.
Otero looked for a run just for a moment underneath the 6. But Switzer shut the door on him. It's also allowing Hewitt to close in at the same time with that number 11. It's Packers doing pretty good. My Bills, nice win today over Kansas City, but not celebrating it too much because, you know, the postseason, obviously. But this is the best battle on the track here. Final spot in the top 5 up for grabs with about 20 laps to go in stage 2. There goes Otero, man. Goes in deep into turn 1 here, Kirk.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. One thing that's on my mind is I'm seeing this car catch him right here. This is Will Hewitt back here. He's making the move down to the inside, that cheese head Green Bay Packer looking thing here on the bottom. And of course, you got Stephen Bird there on the top trying to make the high end work. And it's even worked for Bird there. He's even gaining ground up on the car in front. Gus Otero, I don't know if he's going to be able to make the pass here, but Otero seems to be very, very loose. Just seems to be not running too well on the bottom. So I think that 14 is going to get a run here on the top. Yeah, exactly. He's going to be able to make a move on the top side and probably get by that car as well.
Meanwhile, watching near the front, Carpenter has caught the spoiler of... Lark has caught the spoiler of Carpenter for 3rd, but the field more spread out than they were earlier on, with Duggar opening up a lead now of 1.8 seconds on Daniel Best. But still your best race you're watching on your screen off for 2. Bird and Otero for 6th. Oh boy, Otero a little bit tight for a moment. Next thing 4. Dogleg working well, and let's see what Will Hewitt does in this. Does he force it 3 wide to 1? No, he doesn't.
Oh, that's just smart. You don't want to race crazy hard this early in the run. You got a long way to go. Might as well keep the car underneath you.
So look, not even at the halfway point. Yeah, in this race. Don't be making too many aggressive moves, especially. Oh, there goes Otero. Hard to the inside wall goes Gus.
Yep. And that
left front damage. Caution. And yes, that does. 3rd caution flies today here at Phoenix, as Otero goes spinning off of turn 4. A tough break for him, running 6th at the time. She checked that 7th at the time. Another look at what happened to lead to that left front damage. Tough to see from with the tower inside the way. If there was contact from behind from Hewitt, this should give us a better angle here, Kirk.
Yeah, I think that tower got in the way and wrecked him. That's the tower's fault. Nah, he just got loose off the corner there and made contact. The 11 car had nowhere to go. That 76 was loose as it started and had help from the 11. Left front damage there. Most likely repairable. That wasn't too bad, I think. You'll see it here from on board of that Green Bay Packer car. You're going to see the car get loose, check up and trying to miss him, but he just makes slight contact, and that's what will send him around. A little bit of left front damage for that car there, but shouldn't be too much to where I'd be too concerned.
Pit road is open. Everybody coming down pit road, and because we don't have a lot left here in stage 2, 15 left, I would expect 4 tires for everybody, but I wouldn't be surprised here, though, if we saw 2, Kirk.
2 tires, it works. We've seen that in the full-length Cup Challenge yesterday. That was one heck of a race as well. Came down to the wire for the championship. Same thing can happen here tonight. 2 tires right there from the 5
There you go.
car. He's going to take the advantage and go straight off pit road. First car off.
Well, track position is gold here at Phoenix. He's the only driver that gambles and does 2 tires. The rest on back decide to take 4. And the 3 drivers left in the championship 4, they're going to line up 1, 2, 3. Best, Duggar, and Lark. So William able to pick up a spot off pit road. Carpenter drops one down to 4th. Josh Switzer will round out the top 5 on this restart. So for William Lark here, definitely what you wanted. If you're him, get that caution flag, able to jump a man on pit road. But now I think what we're going to watch closely here is obviously this restart here, Kirk. Restarts, obviously, you got to use to your advantage, as they are very important, especially with the dog leg.
Yeah, these restarts is where you gain and lose everything. You can be a hero or a zero. That's what it's all about now. I always like getting the bottom lane because you could dive it down really deep into the corner once you pass start finish. But of course, you can always be that person that likes to get the run on the exit of turn 2, and you can choose the top and just dive it in as deep as you can, get close to that outside blue wall there, and just get a great run off too. And this is also one of the most unique things about Phoenix. You got that pace car dives off way before these guys ever even get the green flag, so they get to pace themselves for an entire straightaway in the corner.
We gave you your top 5, rest of the top 10. Stephen Bird 6th, Will Hewitt 7th, Thomas Freeman 8th, Bradley Knopsnyder 9th, Thomas Hegland, that is the top 10. They're all left on the racetrack here as we get set to come back to green. Just under 15 to go in stage 2. Best fires, he checks out. Let's watch Larkin Duggar race for 2nd. And this is where, if you're Lark, you've got to take advantage of restarting behind the leader, trying to grab 2nd. From Alan Duggar off for turn 2. Is it going to work? It won't. And here comes Switzer for 3rd out of the 10. Lark hanging out with that for right now. Remember, stage 2 ending at lap 102. So there's 13 laps remaining, and now Kirk with Duggar up to 2nd. Is 4 going to be better than 2 with 13 remaining, or can Best hold on?
It depends.
Oh, Switzer!
Oh,
nice job keeping that straight.
to answer your question a minute ago, it's all about keeping the car underneath you. I think that having 2 tires can win you the stage. But then again, stages don't matter when you're going for championship. You just got to win the dang race. You'll win that championship. So I don't know necessarily. This might be good practice for the end of the race if we get a late race caution to see if 2 tires will work out. We saw that work for Larson, didn't work for Hamlin. So even 3 laps is enough. So you start thinking about moves like that to try and make it happen here.
Best just laid down the quickest lap of the race on 2 tires, 26-21. That last time by, Duggar cut down a 1/10 and a half. So he's got the pace, I think, to catch the 5 and maybe get past him to claim stage number 2. Now, 7 sets of tires the drivers have, so I have a very good feeling that they're going to reset for fresh tires with the stage 2 break. And here we go for the race lead. Duggar is right there with Daniel Best.
Number one thing you don't want is contact. These guys should just not make any contact. We're still side by side for 3rd here. William Lark, Danny Carpenter going at it still.
Yeah, Lark trying to hang on to 3rd. He's lost pace with the top 2 contenders. 9 to go in stage 2. Watching that race for 3rd. Watching the race for the lead and the championship 4. Oh boy. Carpenter nearly got tied off for turn number 4. Behind them, Stephen Bird. Believe the highest he's been in this race in 5th. Trying to break into the podium.
As these guys still battle it out up front, I mean, this gap is getting closer and closer for the top spot here. I think that car, Alan Duggar, might have a hard time trying to get on by the leader here, but he's all over the back bumper. Any mistake out of the 5, and Duggar will be there.
Duggar's got the grip of the 4 tires. He's going to try to do the same thing he did to pass Daniel Best for the race lead earlier on. Top jump for Mama hides the cookies in turns number 1 and 2. Deja vu. Best may be getting some signs of, oh boy, I've been there before, some flashbacks. A drag race into turn number 3 for this one. And Duggar gets the throttle. He's got the rear grip, but he scrapes the wall. They nearly touched. They did.
Man, this is just good. Keep it up, guys. Keep it on the bottom. He's trying to do a little slider here when we slide up. I don't think so. He's going to hang on the bottom.
Duggar's going to get the edge off for turn number 2, I think. No, Best fighting back. The best entry for a quarter is in 3 and 4. But again, Duggar with the grip off the corner. I think he edged him out for the lead. The line he did. But Best is not giving up for the stage 2 win. Door to door, just like it is in the series name for the last 3 laps or so for the lead. But Duggar may be able to clear him on corner exit, and that he does.
Now that he's clear, he's
barely with the clear.
Oh, yeah.
I thought for a moment that he was going to get that Best was going to clip the bumper of Alan Duggar. And I tell you what, Kirk, give credit to Daniel Best for the first gamble early in this one. Won't pay off with the stage 2 win, but hey, this is something to learn, especially if we get a late race caution.
Shows him exactly what he's got, but the 5 car ain't done yet. He's digging. He's going to be there on the inside. Look out. This ain't over yet.
He went for the lower shortcut there in the dog leg, and Duggar slammed the door in the face. May have caught Best off guard as he went up the hill. Pits are closed when they come across the start-finish line. Oh, actually, they're closed right now with 2 laps to go here in the stage. Best is giving it all it's worth here on Alan Duggar. Remember what we talked about as well earlier, Kirk. The setups. Best may have something better on the short run, Duggar on the long run.
I still think it's Duggar's race to lose here. Best has just got to try everything he can, but it's going to be up to Duggar.
And just remember, folks, this is just for stage 2. We're halfway home in this race as a whole. If you enjoyed what you saw here, get ready for the second half of this race. Caution flag waves here. That'll end the stage. I don't see anyone around. So that may have been thrown a little bit early, but nevertheless, Duggar will win stage 2. Actually, as I said, has actually already picked up the win in stage 2. So with that, we'll step aside, take a break. When we come back, 100 laps of racing, if not under, to determine a champion. Stay with us on Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
A big win on pit road for one championship Ford driver and a big loss for the other. William Lark up a spot on Danny Carpenter. He'll be in third when we get to the restart. The bigger loss, the man behind him on the inside road, Daniel Best. A slow exit on pit road, and he'll restart he goes from second to fifth. Josh Schwitzer takes 2 tires on this restart and gets his first lap sled of the day. When we come back to the green flag, Alan Duggar next to him. On the front row, it's Lark, Carpenter, and Best rounding out the top 5 as we have 98 laps to determine a champion. It is a one-stop race to the end of this one. How is this going to be done? Back to the green. Watch William Lark closely. He was incredible on the last restart. Can he get a run on Alan Duggar for second? Daniel Best has recovered as well. He gained 2 spots on that last jump. He's up to 4th and on the spoiler of William Lark. Duggar trying to get that race lead from Josh Schwitzer. Schwitzer holds his ground at the bottom. And William Lark tests the top here for the second spot, the spot of the championship. William Lark is here to fight, but a bad exit.
Man, Duggar's getting real loose when he goes over the bumps in that dog leg, too. You got to be careful through there. Here he goes back up to the top side for the 10 car.
Lark looks incredible on the outside, just as good as Alan Duggar. But now Duggar to the bottom for the race lead. Will Schwitzer shut the door on him? Powers through off of turn 4 to hold serve. Oh, hang on, William. That car bobbled exit turn number 4. Allows Duggar to clear. Best trying to take third. Look at this. The 3 of the 4 drivers of the championship 4 left in this one. 2, 3, and 4. For those wondering, Nate Pollard DNF'd earlier in this race after completing 32 laps. Spun on lap number 5 if you just joined us. And now the championship 4 drivers left in this one. They are nose to tail on the leaderboard. Duggar, best car in the race so far. Best has been fighting even with them. And William Lark, after a tough qualifying effort, he came to fight as well. Lark nearly with the bumper as well on the 5, Kirk.
Yeah, pushing him into the corner almost. Best, though, is trying everything he can to try and chase him down. But remember, Schwitzer and Best aren't necessarily the best in company right now. They kind of have a little beef going on all year. So with that in mind, keep that there whenever, if Best is able to make it by Duggar on the short run. Because then he's got one more guy in front of him, and that guy, they don't get along with.
And you know, we haven't talked too much about Schwitzer on this restart. Played the 2-tire game, just like what Daniel Best did on the last round of pit stops. Right now it's working for him pretty good. A half-second lead on Alan Duggar. He actually put up 2/10 on the 15 that last time by. And Schwitzer's been one of the better restarters we've seen in this race today.
I love his line, too. He's running the Andrew Dyson line. He likes to run that top line and then arc it down. That's really good on 2-tire stints. So
hang on, Joshua! Sideways off for 4. Loses a lot of ground to Alan Duggar. And the 15 saw that. Now this time Schwitzer very tight. And 1 and 2. Here goes the 15 looking for the race lead.
Great save. I love seeing him back onto the car like that.
I think we gave him the commentator jinx. Here goes Duggar underneath.
No such thing.
Top spot is on the line. Oh, Duggar thought about the slide job for a moment. Switcher to try and defend off for turn 2, but again, doesn't have the grip. Lost a lot of grip from getting loose off for turn number 4. It's a drag race into 3. Now, how do Best and Lark play into the thick of things here as well? Switzer sideways again!
That car's just not very comfortable on 2 tires.
And that'll cost collateral. Lost 3 spots, maybe 4 to Stephen Bird. So Alan Duggar, new race leader in lap 114. And behind him, we watched the race for second in the championship of the race. Best and Lark. Now, does William Lark believe here, Kirk, that he's got a car better than Daniel Best?
I wish I knew. I mean, I ain't no mind reader, but I can tell you right now, considering the fact that he's staying on the back bumper of the car in front of him, I think his car might be pretty good as more cars getting loose off that corner again. We saw that time Switzer getting loose again. But yeah, up here, I think the battle is going to be long run. And over the course of a long run, we've already seen it. Duggar's going to be the one to beat. But now let's start thinking about pit stops. Because if we don't get that caution if we don't get a caution for the rest of this race, they got to find a time to pit. And you don't want to be first. You don't want to be last. You kind of want to be somewhere in the middle.
Expecting that stop for a lot of the drivers around lap 170 or so, with about 30 laps to go in the race. Now, because track position is everything here, Kirk, could we see some two-tire calls late, especially by Daniel Best or William Lark?
You know, strategy is the only way you're going to be able to win some of these races on the occasion. You might not have the fastest car out there to run with, so you got to be able to make some sort of strategy work your way. You can short pit it or long pit it. A lot of people tend to do the short pitting, but that doesn't always work out over the long run. You might want to do a little bit of a long run. But the only way that you can really defend against that, if you're a fast car like Duggar, you're going to be pitting long as well, and it negates everything that you would have gained otherwise. So I think it's just going to be played by ear. You're going to watch the other three, and you're going to watch the other drivers in the race. You still got 8 other guys out there, 9 other guys that are trying to race on their own. And they might have their own strategy to try and win this thing too. We want to keep an eye on everybody.
Field is just about stretched out here. Or could we see somebody maybe short pit and split the strategy in half? I doubt we'll see that, but if for a driver that's not in the running for the championship where they've got nothing to lose, why not? See if you can get that undercut to work. As Best got sideways, by the way, off for turn 4. Caught a bump as well. Lark trying to grab second.
Not just Lark. You see the 28 getting there as well. Holy cow. Just going on fast.
Lark tucks right back behind the spoiler of Best. The 5 car trying to forget that even happened in the first place. And that's the risky part as well about shortcutting the dogleg here too as well, Kirk. Because if you try to shortcut too much, you could hit that bump, can freak the bottom end of the car out, and you could go sideways.
True, absolutely. This thing gets upset real easy. And I always say this too. If you go into the corner and get loose and you overcorrect to the right, that car turns into a devil. That's how it is. If you turn right in these things are made to turn left. So if you see anybody turning right, the thing gets ultra loose and wants to spin out on you. So keep an eye out to see if anyone is driving loose. That might be a part of the equation.
Behind them, Stephen Bird, Thomas Hagelin. Hagelin trying to look to jump in the top 5 for the first time today. Started back in the 12th position, running in 6th. Nice drive here, a quiet drive, I guess you could say, for the 99 of Hagelin, and it's working out pretty well so far.
Look at this battle for 4th right here. William Lark and Carpenter going at it.
See if it's going to pay off here. Carpenter driving in very deep in the 28. The slider off for turn 4 to 3rd. He bobbled a little bit. Allows Lark to counter back and see if he can get that spot back.
I don't think so. I think Lark is a little slower on the long run. I'm a little worried about Lark's long run speed. He's already under fire again from another driver, Stephen Bird, on the outside.
Is it going to pay off here off at turn 4 for Stephen Bird? Highest spot in the race for him. Oh! Couple cars sideways off for 4. One of them was Will Hewitt in the 11. Stephen Bird, I think, if not William Lark, was another one, but he kept it straight. But Hewitt with a gorgeous save.
Driving hard, man. That's what happens when you overdrive it. It happens sometimes. You get a little loose.
I don't believe there was contact off of Josh Switzer either, the man that was behind Hewitt. But that shows you the way the Packers have played in the Super Bowl in the last 10 years, only one win. Hey, go ahead. You can come back on me. I'm a Bills fan. It's all free game.
Nah, man. I don't even. I'll tell you, holy cow, that car just got loose and stopped right in front of him. Great save doing it, but man, that guy, he used the brakes and the 6 car to help him straighten the thing out. Holy cow! Stunned that thing didn't get spun around.
And it's very tough to save these next gen cars with the steering, especially at a short track, and that takes a lot of skill for Will Hewitt to keep that car going.
You know, they say this is a short track, but in my head, I've never put it in the same category as Richmond, Bristol, Martinsville. It never feels the same. This is kind of like a weird micro version of Pocono in my head. Okay, that's really what it is. I don't like calling much else other than that, but looking at it here, still great save for the track type for sure.
Meanwhile, working lap 128 of 203, Duggar continues to lead. Looking for the championship, up by just under a second. Daniel Best in the 5, Danny Carpenter 3rd, Stephen Bird 4th, and Thomas Hegland was up the top 5. Lark's dropped a couple of spots in this run. He's down to 6th. Not what the number 10 wants in this championship 4 fight. Definitely without question here, Kirk. He'll need a caution flag to get back in this, or we'll have to hope for... I think if you want to gamble here, this is likely the man that's going to take 2 tires on the final stop, I would have to assume.
Yep, you're just going to want to do a small splash and go. But the problem is, I think that we might actually see another caution because we're seeing these guys get really loose. I think these tires are going to be a problem instead of the fuel gauges. I think we're going to start looking at people getting loose because the tire's overheating, or you might get a meatball because you blow a tire. I think that might be a problem as well. That could happen.
Well, look at how Larson and Briscoe got back in the championship 4 hunt earlier today. They did 2 tires while Hamlin and Byron did 4. And then when Byron had the flat tire, Larson did 2. The other 3 did 4 tires, and boom, Kyle Larson wins the championship. And then in the truck race, for example, Corey Heim does 4. A lot of drivers in front, especially the other 3 drivers in the championship 4, they take 2 tires, but Corey Heim, a generational talent, I guess you could say the least. So it all depends, though. I feel like, though, in the next gen car, though, 2 tires is a smart gamble.
In the modern day of NASCAR, any strategy can work. It really just depends on who Racing Gods decides is on the right side of the history. Whenever the caution comes out, whenever you choose to do what you do. The guy who won the championship today was a lap down, blown tires, and all 4 of the championship contenders blew tires. One of them did it twice, and one of them did it terminally. Yet one of them that blew a tire, went a lap down with 97 to go, still came back to win a dang race. I say something's wrong there. But then again, we're looking at this one here in the Door Racing League, and I could say these guys won't have that problem today because luckily they don't simulate that very well. So it's more about blowing a tire. You won't see them get a caution for it, but you'll definitely see them off the pace and have to come down pit road.
You want to know what...
Speaking of pit stops, look at that. We got one. Terry Orr choosing to head on down pit road.
Yeah, Orr has... Yeah. He hasn't had the best car today. You want to know what Larson actually just said in the media center a couple minutes ago on his championship win? These playoffs for, quote, these playoffs for us were as Joey Logano as it gets. If you know, you know.
Yep.
I love Larson. He's hilarious.
Well,
he's such a good guy to talk to. But hey, he lets his racing though to the talking. Hey, look. It's sad as well that we got no NASCAR for a bunch of weeks until January. Obviously, this is the final Door Cup Series race, and they'll be doing a Winter League as well. Then before they lead up back to normal with the Cup Series, and I believe they're going to have another league set up for Friday nights as well. But hey, we still got racing in the off season. Look on the bright side. There's another week if you're a dirt racing fan like me. We've got the World Finals. Then you've still got some late model racing like the Gateway Dirt Nationals in December. F1 still with racing up until December as well at Abu Dhabi. It's the holidays that won't have the racing, which obviously is fine for any of us. But then, hey, once we finish up Christmas, we'll be back to dirt racing with the Tulsa Shootout, then the Chili Bowl, and then IMSA, and then guess what? We get the Clash at Bowman Gray. So guess what? Next season comes quicker than you think.
Oh yeah, that's what we're looking forward to. I'll be down in Daytona in February. That's the next one in my book. But
are you going to the 500?
Yep, I'm going to be watching Jeff. I'm going to be going down there and watching a whole bunch of drivers, hang out with some folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm bringing 10 people with me. It's going to be a big old, big Super Bowl thing.
I don't have a lot of time for the for NASCAR races a lot with my summer night job announcing for a 305 Sprint Car Touring Series. But when the World of Outlaws are near me, I try to go to the races if I don't have a race conflicting on the same night. So I used to go to Watkins Glen every year, and if you haven't been to that track, it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Looking right now, I got to say, though, while we're talking about this, you know what I'd like to do? I don't know if you'd be all right with this, but I'd like to go through and talk about our top 10 right now, if that's...
Let's go ahead and do a full field rundown. Kirk, I'll shut up and let you take this.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Right here, Thomas Freeman. He's right now, he started in 9th. Kurt, we'll start in 10th, and we'll work our way forward, if we will. So let's go ahead and go back to Thomas Freeman. There we go. Thomas Freeman, all right, this guy has 31 starts on the year. Average start is right around 11th. Average finish right around 12th. So he's running right a little bit better than what you'd expect out of this car. But think about, there's not that many cars out there today, so he's not necessarily going against too much competition. Out of those 31 starts, he's gotten top 5s in 2 of those. His average incidence is right around 7, so you can expect a couple contacts a race on average for this fellow. But I could say right here, just finishing this season out shows that this guy is one of those guys that's what I like to say, long dog. He's a guy that likes to show up to the races, do the best he can, and leave the races, but he shows up to every single one he can. 31 is pretty dang good out of 36, so love seeing him around, and I can't wait to see what he can do next season. Now, moving up to the next place spot, Bradley Cobb Snyder, I think. Is that right? Yes, it sure is, right there, yep. 20 starts this year, not quite as much as some of the others. Average finish is right around 13th. So driver here has only 3 top 5s, a couple more than the car before, so he's pretty quick. Average running position, though, is also around 13th, so he's doing really well for today, running a little farther forward in that Marlboro paint scheme for Ford. Love seeing that out there, and I'm excited to see what he can do next year as well. He's a pretty good incident per start as well, right around 6. Then we move up to our next driver here. In line is going to be Will Hewitt. This guy, Will Hewitt, started in 18 races so far this year. His average is right around 10th as a finishing position. His average running is right around 10th as well. So both are just within a couple percentage points of each other. 4 top 5s, 10 top 10s out of 18 starts. That is great. Out of the top 10s, about more than half the time he'll finish in the top 10. That's important to remember. Pretty cool to see out of that 11 car. And also, one thing to note is his incidence is pretty high, right around 9.1 per start. So maybe that's what's holding him back. A little bit of contact. We saw him get loose earlier, able to save the car. Improvement over the season for sure. Now let's move up to the next driver in line right here. Let's talk about, I believe that is going to be William Lark. Oh my goodness, William Lark. He has fallen back since the last time that we looked at him. Definitely not having the time of his life. He's going to need some sort of change to get back into this. His average finish this season is 11th, so he's going to need a lot of help. He won 1 race this year. He has 4 top 5s and has 12 out of 24 top 10s. So about half the time he's also in the top 10. He also has a very low incident per race, so he doesn't make a lot of mistakes very often. Still right around 5 incidents per start. Now if we move up to the next driver, you're going to get Joshua Switzer. This guy we've already talked about. We know he has a little bit of a beef with Daniel Best. This guy, they really get on each other's nerves, but if they ever get around each other, we'll see how they're able to handle it. But looking at this guy, what I can say is that he is, on average, 11th place as a finishing position. He's also runs normally in the top 10, 4 top 5s, 10 out of 18 top 10s, and the guy just seems to get incidents a bunch. Right around 9.1 incidents per start, maybe needing to avoid some contact with Best to be able to, improve a little bit more. Moving up, Thomas Hegland. Let's go ahead and go to him right here. He started P12 tonight. He started in 27 races this year, and out of all of those, he has 6 top 5s. He has 12 top 10s. This guy has an average incident around 8, so he gets involved in 2 accidents per race on average. But this guy seems to be running really well today, running right now in 6, just outside of top 5. He'd love to get another top 5 to his column, making it 7. I'm sure we'll see if he's able to do that later in the run. Next up, Thomas Hegland, I believe, is next on the... Oh, let's see. Is that... Oh, we already did that one, didn't we? No, we did. That was Danny Carpenter. You're right. You're absolutely right. Now, moving up to Carpenter. Let me see if I can find Carpenter. There we go. Started in 33 races so far this year. Out of those 33, he's finishing top 10 in 17 and top 5 in 10. Wow, really high top 5 ratio for Danny Carpenter. Really fast incident per race. This guy is absolutely wild at 8.48. And he's doing really well. As we have pit stops, we're going to stop right there just for a second. Somebody come down pit road right now.
Yeah,
it looks like it is a...
That's Daniel Best. So Daniel Best and William Lark both playing the strategy game or playing the gambling game to undercut Alan Duggar, trying to get the fresh tires to their advantage. Money stops on the line. And William Lark with a very quick stop, a 10.7. And I gotta double check and see if he did 4 tires or 2. Based off a 10.7, it looks to be a slow 2. And that's the case, a slow 2 tire stop for William Lark. Now watching Daniel Best in the number 5. He has a faster 2 out in 9.9. So let's see how that's gonna work. Can they use 50 laps of scuff left sides to go the distance is gonna be the question. Hagland now on pit road. He'll try the same strategy. Now, if you're the front 6, if you're Alan Duggar, are you aware about what they're doing at the moment here, Kirk?
I think right now you got to be thinking stay out as long as humanly possible. You want to stay out and make, or actually, you know what? Thinking about it, let me take a second. We know that he had a gap to the second place car. Whatever that gap was, he can't lose more than about double that. Because the longer he stays out, the better his tires will be, the faster he'll be than the other 2 he's got to beat. So that's what it's all about right now, as it looks like that Duggar here is running lap times of 27.6, but if you look at Daniel Best, he's running lap times as he's coming across the line for the first time. This time we'll know for sure, 26.7. So he's already a second faster a lap than Alan Duggar. That's how much he can gain if he comes down early. But that 15 staying out lap after lap it's just going to make it even closer for the end of this thing.
Oh, Hewitt now brings his number 11 on the pit road, and seeing a lot of the drivers that are stopping. Only one driver took 4 tires, that being Bradley Knopsnyder in the number 87. And here comes Alan Duggar. Money stop on the line for the number 15. I am sure that he was aware of when he was going to of the other championship drivers pitting. And so now we wait to see what happens. Is he going to do 2 or is he going to do 4? 4 tires for Alan Duggar. This just got interesting. Daniel Best makes the pass on Alan Duggar for the championship lead. Now we'll see what the gap is going to be with under 50 laps of racing to go. The gap's going to be about 4 seconds or so here, Kirk. That's going to be very tough for Daniel Best should this race go the distance.
I think he's going to be able to catch him back down, though. It depends on his speed. Of course, right now we know that Duggar's great on the long run. We know that for a fact Best is pushing the hardest he has ever pushed all day, most likely. But when you look at this right here, in terms of where they're running, I could also say that Duggar came out in front of Lark. So Lark's now just hoping for a caution. But Daniel Best has got to run the cleanest 50 laps of his life if he wants to win this championship.
Now, let's remember this as well. They have 3 sets of a lot of the drivers, 3 sets of right side tires. Well, let's say that at least remaining. A lot more left sides, obviously, because some have been doing 2 tire pit stops too. 3 sets of right sides at least remaining. Keep that in mind if we get a late race caution, because I got a good feeling that we're going to see everybody basically down pit road once again for the fresher right side. So we'll see how things look for Daniel Best, but that lead is just being chopped down by Alan Duggar right now at 4 seconds at the moment. The lap times, Duggar better by a 10th last time by. Actually better by under a half second here, Kirk.
Yeah, so I mean that's going to be very important. That's right around a half second. Holy cow! Yeah, he's going to get there in no time. I think now it's just about a matter of time. No mistakes out of that 15 car. You don't want to make any sort of mistake. If you do, that might cost you. But you don't want to burn up the tires. You just want to take one lap at a time and let the car come to you. You'll be able to catch him, no doubt about it. If you're able to keep that car underneath you and keep your mind in the right state of mind, you'll be fine. That 5 car, though, he's in a rough spot.
Stephen Byrne now using that long run, making his way down pit road. Now Stephen will have the freshest tires of the field here, with the exception of one driver. That's Josh Switzer. Now remember, Switzer only took 2 tires on lap 103. And after he got loose, I thought for a moment he was in trouble. I'm going to give him a lot of credit for going 60 laps or so on these tires, especially on the left sides. For those wondering,
times, man, it's down to 28.2.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about that.
Getting that late race caution for sure. For those wondering, Stephen Bird did take 4 tires, so we'll have the freshest tires as of now until Josh Switzer makes his pit stop. Keeping an eye on the gap between Best and Duggar. Meanwhile, it's down to 3.5. So there's no doubt about it here, Kirk, that Duggar will catch Daniel Best. It's just a matter of when.
Let me actually do some math, because I think that last time by, Daniel Best ran a 27.2, and Duggar ran a 26.8. So I'm going to try to figure out around lap time. I'm going to pull up
half second.
Then on fire. Hang on a second.
It's been a half second to fall off. So at this rate, about maybe 6 laps from now, we'll see a battle for the championship. And again, we should not blame Best and Lark one bit for gambling on the 2 tires. I mean, if it's going to take track position to win the championship here, Kirk, that's what you have to do. I don't blame them one bit for doing it.
Yeah, not to mention, he was only a 10th faster that last time by. It was not a half a second anymore. That time by, it was a 10th. And a couple laps ago, it was also a 10th. I think it's hit and miss for Duggar right now. Let's see what lap that time was. He kept it the same, car in front. Yeah, less than a 2/10.
Duggar just has to stay consistent, hit his mark. Don't do anything aggressive, if I'm him.
Oh, man, he's in such a tough spot, though. Man, this is the way you want to have a championship go down. If you're going to have a championship come down to the end of it, this is going to be the way you want to do it. You got to have a man. Try and go through.
Yeah, this is the way fans want to see it here. That off of an overtime, late race pit stop where the dominant car doesn't win the championship.
Don't remind me. You're hurting my heart, man. Oh, man.
I want to cry, too. So, you and I were talking about when we both logged on to Discord before the race, and I actually warned Jeff about this in our Maconi Discord. I said, do not be surprised if we cry in the broadcast. If you know, you know. Well, look, at least my Bills win made up for some of the sports weekend that I've had, from the Hamlin losing to the Blue Jays losing in extras. It's been a sports weekend to forget for championship wise, to say the least here, Kirk.
Yeah, just remember, for every person that's sad, there's also somebody who's having the best week of their life.
Yes, especially down in LA.
I always say your time will come whenever something good will happen.
Look at Will Hewitt in the 11, currently 6th. Put on lap 153. And everybody has made what's their final stop to get them to the distance. It's just the question of the late race yellows. Will someone use some extra sets of Goodyear Eagles on the right sides at least? Yep, for Best to Duggar. You see it on your screen, dissipating each and every lap at 2.1 seconds. Duggar cut off 4/10 last time by.
Now, what is that 5 car willing to do? Because once you have this situation where you're leading this thing, and take a look at the lap times. I mean, it's still just a couple tenths here and there that he gains back. I know he'll get there, but when he does, what are you willing to do? You have a championship you can win right here, right now, but you got to keep this car behind you. I mean, I always say that's my favorite question to ask these drivers. If it were me,
Last time by, another 10th and a half. Another gap cut down by a 10th and a half. At this rate, Duggar would still be able to catch best before the checkered flag. A little bit of a look at the late race trends, though. Once the race amongst NASCAR, not iRacing, once the race inside the final 40, 50 laps passing, it can become nearly impossible, but that's on equal tires. Since the reconfiguration, the winner of the final restart has come from the front row in nearly every Cup race. Best one of them, I believe, did not restart on the front row, though. Something to keep in mind. And obviously the clean air. We're inside of 35 laps to go. That's the average of the last caution. Typically for contact in turn 1 or the dogleg. And 2 tire gambles are staying out. Can it win the race at times? So those are the 2 notable late race trends we have here at the moment. Gap now at 1.8. Duggar closing in like Jaws, but another 10th and a half chopped down by Duggar and Best. You look at that, Thomas Freeman in the 17. Racing with Knopfsnyder and Switzer for 7th. And depending on how long this race goes as well here, we could be talking about that possibly if we get that late race caution, Kirk, a battle for a free pass.
That's true. Everything's about, perspective, but right now we got to focus on the fact of the matter is that this championship is coming down to the wire. This last time by, the gap was 1.684. This time when they cross the stripe, looking up here at the front 2, it is going to be 1.638. They ran nearly identical times.
29 laps to go in the season. Best trying to hang on and conserve his tires. Duggar trying to push to the max. These were the 2 favorites going into the championship 4. And let's talk about what we said, the first thing we said on the air about each of the 2 drivers here. Duggar's been the best driver all season long. Amongst the championship 4 drivers with 5 wins, 15 top 5s and 20 starts in 2025. Daniel Best only 1 win with 9 top 5s, 18 top 10s on the season. Gap down to 1.5.
Okay.
And no change again. What are the trends you've got, Kirk?
Yep, I got some math here right here. All right, we got 26 laps to go, right? 26, 25, where are we at now?
Yep. Approaching 25.
25, okay. So right now, with that last gap of 1.506 divided by 26, that puts him at needing half a tenth a lap to be able to catch him.
Oh, hang on. Daniel got sideways in the dogleg. Throw your math out there, Kirk. Alan Duggar is down to 0.8 of a second. He cut it down by 0.2 last lap. It's going to be even worse here this time by.
We'll find out. Let's take a look at the numbers whenever they cross.
Caution flag wave! Well, Hewitt crashes. Hewitt has crashed in the dogleg. And that's going to change everything in this race.
Oh, man. That was going to be something there at the end of that thing. Let's see what happened to that 11 car. See what knocked him out.
Yeah, you'll see it in the replay in just a moment. But this is going to change everything here in this championship race. So look at Will Hewitt. Watch him coming off in turn number 4. Car gets sideways up the hill in the wall, and the car just freaks out, and boom.
Hope he didn't collect anybody. Doesn't look like it. Heavy damage. I think he's done for the night. No way out.
Here we go.
Driving after that.
Another money stop for the championship 4. Best, Duggar, Lark. 2nd, 3rd, and 5th respectively. Josh Switzer stays out. The man that had the freshest tires will now have the scuffest tires. Watching Best and watching Duggar. Good entries by both of them. Who's taking 2? Who's taking 4 is the question. Duggar takes 2 tires on this stop. Best takes 4. William Lark is going to beat Daniel Best off the pit road.
That actually might be to his benefit.
A slow 4-tire stop for Daniel Best at 17.6 seconds. I don't know if it was slow off the drop of the jack or not, because remember his last pit stop under yellow, he had a tough time getting up to speed. And now Josh Switzer is going to come down pit road for his set of tires and to top off on fuel. And Alan Duggar, don't know why. Oh my! Does Alan Duggar, does he have a black flag? Oh, Switzer's got a black flag. I'm sorry.
Something's going on though with that purple car.
Yeah, something's up with Duggar. He's dropped a couple of spots here. Why is he dropping to the tail?
I'm not seeing any black flags for him.
I don't know if he had a speeding penalty or not. If somebody can confirm in chat, an EOL penalty from what we are hearing for Alan Duggar. I'm not too sure for what.
That's a big deal.
I'm gonna check the pit road entry just to make sure I've got my stuff right. But Duggar now is gonna be in a deep hole. His pit road exit's okay. I'm watching the pit road entry though, just in case. If everything fine here for Duggar.
Up to the lead.
And that's gonna change everything without question. Green flag, back out. Here we go. Money time here in this one. William Lark leading for the first time in this race after starting from the back. Carpenter not able to find his way past Daniel Best. And remember, Lark and Best each doing 4 tires on that last restart. Alan Duggar took 2. He's back up to the 5th position. 20 laps to go in the championship and of the season. Best drives it in very deep. It's going to be 20 next time by correction. Field spread out single file. William Lark, the best position he's been in this race so far tonight, Kirk, with 20 laps to go, trying to pull off the upset possibly. And Best is in the hands of Danny Carpenter for 2nd.
This is not looking good for everybody on back, but can you believe it? William Lark was out of this thing. He was nowhere near the top 2 until that caution came out, and he just was able to skip right on by and move to the front. Very reminiscent of what happened to Larson here at the end of this thing. He was nowhere near being involved until that last caution came out, and when that happened, it gave him a chance to win the championship. But right now, William Lark's in a very similar position.
Watching Alan Duggar closely. He's up in the 4th position, now chasing down Carpenter for the bottom stump of the podium. And I believe I have the reason why for Alan Duggar. I was looking at pit road entry, 48 miles an hour. The speed limit is 45. I believe he got busted for speeding on pit road for Alan Duggar. We'll have to double check though. But Duggar now through is up to 3rd. Now can he make a try from the back on 2 fresh tires to beat out Lark and Best on 4 fresh tires is the question.
He's got to
The
keep
gap
underneath you, keep the tires nice and hot, and he's got a shot, no doubt about it.
The gap for Larkin Best at a half second. The drivers left in the championship for 1, 2, 3. The way you love to see it. 187 laps go up on the board this time by. Imagine if William Lark can get this one done. Only one win and 4 top 5s in the 2025 season. And it's going to be the longest 15 laps or so of William Lark's season. Can he pull it off with a championship? Unexpected tonight.
Just got to maintain best laps of his life. He's got to drive right now. He's doing.
He's got
it, to say the least. But Best is loose. He's really loose. Lost a lot of ground that time.
Lark's got to hit his marks every single lap. Just stay consistent, and he'll be able to do it, unless Alan Duggar gets there. And Duggar is with Best for second. Best the small bobble though. Great defense though on Duggar. Slams the door through the dog leg. How do you get past if you're Alan Duggar? Do you force him into a mistake? There it may have been right there with Best off the wall in turn 2, Kirk.
He doesn't have time to be right behind him. He's got to get out of it, get on by him quick. He knows that this is coming down to the end, and you don't have time to be sitting and dilly-dallying. You got to get on.
Oh!
He's almost turned him there. Hang on to him.
He put the bumper to him, and Duggar's going to do the same thing that he's been passing Bird for the race lead the last couple of lead changes we saw, but this time for second. But a change this time underneath. A drag race into turn number 3. Best can't defend any longer. Alan Duggar looking for second off in turn 4 after a penalty. It was Best at the line with 12 laps to go.
This pass is great and all, but he's got to catch one more. He's got to somehow catch up to the back bumper, William.
He got him. Off at turn number 2, Duggar's cleared, but Best trying to fight back with the exit. He's got to drive it in deep this time. Nearly puts the bumper to Alan Duggar. The 15 back up to second with 11 laps to go. Oh, hang on, Daniel Best sideways off for turn 4. That could be what cost him the championship. Stephen Bird underneath for third.
What cost him the championship was the caution. He had this thing. There's going to be a race between him and Duggar, but it ends up being a battle now between Duggar and Lark instead.
And the gap, Alan Duggar has cut it down despite the 2-tire stop to 0.4 of a second. Duggar trimmed off a 10th last time by with 10 laps to go.
Let's keep an eye on the top 2 right here. This is where the real battle for championship is. Looking back here at this guy, he's kind of needing a caution right now. We need to look at the top 2.
9 to go. Duggar is there, underneath to the dog, like a deep shortcut, and he is within a car length of the number 10. The championship is on the line. Duggar trying to recover from a speeding penalty with 2 tires. Lark trying to recover from the back of the field and try and stun the championship win. Duggar tucks it back in line though on the number 10. 8 laps to go. And Duggar's going to get a big run off for turn number 4. There it is to the dog leg, side by side for the race lead for the championship.
What are you willing to do, man? Here we go.
A deep drive by Alan Duggar. Can he clear William Lark off for 2? Not just yet. Maybe now. Lark forces it side by side into turn 3. Duggar may get him off for turn number 4. He does. New leader, Alan Duggar coming back. Lark trying to counter though here in the final laps of this one.
Zit. Coming down to the final bit, he was able to catch him and pass him just like that. Alan Duggar now just got a smooth victory sailing. Don't even look in that mirror. Just keep looking forward.
Can you believe this? On 2 tires, From the back after a speeding penalty, Alan Duggar back out front with 6 laps of racing to go. And all William Lark and Daniel Best can do is just pray for a late race caution flag. And it's amazing to see Alan Duggar do this from a DOL from a pit road speeding penalty, allegedly. 5 laps to go. And imagine if it weren't for that late race caution. Daniel Best, apparently having some internet issues right now. If it weren't for that caution flag, could be talking about Daniel Best maybe a champion by having to hang on. Duggar has turned on the afterburners with 4 laps to go, Kirk. The gap at 3/4 of a second on William Lark. And the 10 car forced to fight Stephen Bird for second.
Miracles only happen sometimes in life. I think right now, if you're William Lark, if you're a driver in the back like Daniel Best, you're hoping for one of those miracles right here, right now.
3 laps to go at the line for Alan Duggar, the favorite amongst the championship 4. A 5-win season, 15 top 10s, and 20 starts coming on in. He joined late in the year, I believe it was, and he's shown to be a contender alongside Trevor Baxter, the 2 best drivers all season long in the Door to Door Cup Series. 2 laps remain in the season. I will just watch with you with Alan Duggar, who has driven a picture-perfect race, even while fighting obstacles, from drivers taking 2 tires to taking a speeding penalty, and he sees the white flag, final lap of the 2025 season. The fastest car here at Phoenix started from pole position, but more importantly, has driven an incredible season. 5 checkered flags in 2025. He'll make his way through 3 and 4. He'll get a 6-pack of them. But more importantly, Alan Duggar, the Door to Door Cup Series champion.
What a drive. He went from the back to the front, showed that he deserved that championship today, no doubt about it.
Duggar, the man in 2025. He'll get a congratulations from Stephen Bird with an incredible second-place effort from him. William Lark, give it up for him, finishing 3rd in this race, 2nd in the championship 4. He gave it his all on that final restart. Had the grip, but Duggar knew the place like the palm of his hand. And they'll do some donuts at the dog leg. And he doesn't care if he wrecks the car or not. Season's over for him. Daniel Best finishing 5th in the race, trying out the 2-tire strategy in the long run. And the caution flag being fired on him. Alan Duggar, your 2025 Door-to-Door Cup Series champion. And we will talk with them and the rest of the top 3 in just a moment on Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The 2025 season has come to a close. Alan Duggar is your door-to-door Cup Series champion. As that one did not come easy in the witching hour of things. Duggar, the race winner by 1.6 seconds on Stephen Bird. William Lark finishing third. Danny Carpenter fourth. Daniel Best in fifth. Josh Switzer in sixth. Bradley Knopsnyder seventh. Thomas Freeman eighth. The only drivers finishing on the lead lap. Will Hewitt in ninth. Thomas Hegland rounded out the top 10. Kirk?
74 laps down, Terry Orr, followed by Gus Otero, and then, of course, Michael Reeves, Nate Pollard, and James Nestor round out your starters for this afternoon.
So we will get to your top 3 here at this moment, and I want to start off before we talk with William Lark, because I want to get the non-championship driver first off before we get to the other 2 championship contenders. I want to start off with Stephen Bird finishing in the second position instead. Stephen, a nice run at the end. What worked well for you in those final laps of the race?
Just the guys in front of me racing hard and getting their tires.
Did you obviously had to take advantage of that late race yellow flag, getting those 4 tires? Did you feel maybe you had something possibly for Alan, even though he had the 2 tires, or not really once he got past you?
I was hoping that when he come up through the field after getting the black for speeding on pit, that he'd cooked his tires a little more than he did. So, I was hoping I did, but once he got around, it was, and by the time I work to get around William, I didn't have enough left for him after that.
Boy, a great race. Quiet charge for you throughout the night as we were focused on the championship four, but hey, still, regardless, a great run. Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Shout out to you guys. You put on a great broadcast. All the guys at Door to Door, all the guys in the hangout, just everybody we race with, and myself. That was my own built setup, second one I've ever built.
That's awesome, and it paid off well. So, hey, great job tonight. Have a great off season. Hopefully, talk to you next year.
Yes, sir. You guys too. Thank you.
Stephen Bird with a second place finish. And let's go to the man that finished third in the race, but second in the championship, William Lark, coming oh so close. He's with Kirk.
William, gotta say, man, you had one heck of a race car towards the end of that race. You had the lead chance to win this thing, but unfortunately had that car come right through and just get on by you. Tell you, I need to know, William, what was going through your mind when you saw that ugly looking purple car in your mirror?
He was the best car by far, man. I thought he gave us a gift there when he got that black flag. I wish it would have been with 15 to go, but no, he was the best car by far, man. I knew if he got through there in the first few laps, he'd be tough to hold off.
Altogether, third place in the race. Had a good run there at the end. Obviously, didn't win the championship, but you had yourself a great year. Ended up getting to second place in the championship standings after it's all said and done. And I got to ask you, man, what do you think about this year and anything you want to look back on? And what are you thinking about in terms of 2026?
I had a good time this year, man. It was a lot of fun first year racing with these guys, man, and it was a good group of fellas. And maybe I don't know. I don't know what I'd have done any different, man. I mean, like I said, I think the best car won the championship. But I'm looking forward to 2026, and maybe I can finish one spot better in the championship.
Alrighty, well, gotta ask you, man. Obviously, you had a lot of people out there supporting you. Who do you want to shout out this afternoon?
Well, first I want to shout out to you guys, man. Thank you guys for all you do, and it's a class act how y'all run things here, and the door-to-door racing, man. Thank them fellas too, man. I appreciate you guys.
Well, all right, William. Thanks so much for coming in and talking to us, and congrats on P3, and we'll see you in 2026.
Take care, man. Thanks.
We'll see you then.
So William Lark, second in the championship, third in the race. But let's go to victory lane and talk to your champion. Alan Duggar. How's this feel, man?
Man, it feels awesome. It was great. I thought I gave it away by speeding on pit road, but had a fast unit tonight. I was able to drive back up through the field.
I was wondering what the reason was. I thought I saw it being a speeding penalty, but I'm glad you confirmed that for us. How did you come back 2 tires compared to William Lark's 4 and basically the rest of everyone else's 4-tire stop and get the job done tonight?
No quit in me. I'm going to give it all 110%.
Before that final caution, did you feel like you had something as well for Daniel?
Yeah, I believe I did. It was going to be a good one to the end if it stayed green, but I felt like I was really good on the long run. So I knew if I could get out there and just manage the gap, I'd be okay.
Did you feel like you had your car set up and prepared for that long run tonight?
Yes.
Well, hey,
most definitely.
You got it done. You're the champ. I got to ask you, how are you going to celebrate this one tonight?
I really haven't thought about it just yet, but I may have a few cold ones.
There you go. There you go. Celebrate it tonight, and then gotta get ready for work in the morning. Then celebrate that again afterwards. So, hey, Alan, who do you want to give shout outs to on this run?
Ken Byron over at Ryco for building these setups. Give a shout out to y'all. 15 Studios, Flying Change Farms, Forest Bar Ranch, Salon Motorsport. 15 Studios, I may have said them already. Shout out to Mr. Nicholas Vroman, the GOAT. Always there helping me out when I need it. And that's it.
Enjoy this. Congratulations well-deserved championship without question. And well done, Alan.
Thank you, sir.
Alan Duggar, you're champion. And with that, the 2025 Door-to-Door Cup Series season comes to a close. Kirk, final thoughts before we sign off.
What a great year. I mean, altogether, it seems like this group of guys really like running with each other, and there was a lot of respect between some folks here. And it was a lot of fun watching and a lot of fun calling it. And I look forward to seeing what these guys can do next year in 2026. Hey, I think a lot of folks can actually try and come and sign up for it. Go reach out to these guys. I bet it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Door-to-Door's got a lot of things planned coming up. They've got the Winter League starting up, I believe, next week, and then they'll be getting ready for the 2026 season. And then in addition to that, they got a whole lot more around the corner with the Winter Series and more. Make sure you check out more details if you're a part of the Door-to-Door Racing League Discord. So with that, we bid adieu on this Sunday night. Thanks for joining us in 2025. It has been a fun one. On behalf of the Door-to-Door Racing League and the Door-to-Door Cup Series, all the fine drivers, sponsors, and admins. On behalf of my broadcast partners tonight, Kirk Mills and Christian Hill in Mission Control, I'm Marty Sakala. This broadcast has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. Congratulations to Alan Duggar, your winner at Phoenix, and your 2025 Door-to-Door Cup Series champion. So long.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.